have a solution. The Whine No Whine Show, where you can be friended and offended all in the same hour, where we gather people from all different walks of life and perspectives, and we talk about everything that everyone has told you not to. Religion, politics, and everything under the sun. Nothing is off limits, and we do it all over a glass of wine. So grab a glass and join us as we save America, one civil conversation at a time.
3, 2, 1, action!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Whine No Whine Show Artist Edition. I'm glad to be your host today. My name's Harley. I'm back in action. We've had Chris getting in here, who's my business partner, but today we have a very, very special show for you. If you guys are just now tuning in, don't forget to like and subscribe to our page and share our feed. We have some amazing Houston local talent here that's going to tell us everything about their art and their music. We might even have a little live performance going on. And in the y'all stay tuned, stay strapped, stay going, and we're going to introduce these guests. If you have a glass of wine, now's the time to fill it up because we've already been going. I'm going to start on my left. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for us real quick.
Hey, I'm Dee Franklin. My business name is Deadhead Horror and Fable Collages. I'm also with Imagination Theater. They're kids 14 to 21, and we're doing 7 Brides for 7 Brothers this season. And you'll be seeing them in Conroe coming up in June. And they're going to throw up the dates for that for me. And thank you so much.
Yeah. One more time, where can we find you?
I am on Fable Collages right now. And next month, I will be having my Deadhead Horror. We'll have a new website. I do one-of-a-kind goth dolls. I'll also be at Thorn and Moons at Magical Market at Avant Garden.
First Friday of every month, you can catch it too, right?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming and being a part of our show. Why don't we let you introduce yourself?
Okay, so where am I looking, first of all?
Oh, so many cameras. I forgot. I didn't even tell everybody. We have some cameras to look at today. Let's go ahead and start with that one right there.
All right, so my name is Sayra Vallejo. I'm an abstract artist in Houston, Texas. I do a whole bunch of colorful work. I work in 3 dimensions as well. And, I mean, what else can I say about myself? Man, find me on Instagram. Yeah, find me on Instagram at __ period SY period __. Not as hard as it sounds, I promise.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for coming and being on our show. We're going to have so much fun, guys, and I know you're going to really love this episode, so stay tuned.
Hi, my name's Jairo, and my artist name is Man the Moon. I'm a musician based out of Houston, Texas. We're very close to releasing our debut EP, probably later this month or early June.
Sounds dope.
So, yeah, keep an eye on for that, and you can find me on Man the Moon. Look up Man the Moon on Facebook.com. That's where we're at.
That's like Man the Moon.
There's like man, because it's man, comma, and then the moon. It's like,
yeah, or it's like, hey, we need to put some people up there, Man the Moon.
Man the Moon.
So don't forget that.
Hello, my name is Linda Hinojos, and I'm the director of 45 Art Center. And, well, we are an art center that is new. We've been here for a year, and we're located on I-45 in Park Place, just south of 610. And there we have a couple main focuses. We have an art gallery, which we are looking for artists to join. July 1st, we're having a big exhibit. Chris Minamyer, he's the one hosting it. And we're going to have a lot of artists there, galleries, and just we're going to be signing artists, so if you're interested. We also have next Sunday, the 20th, we have a pre-Comic Palooza exhibit, and we're going to have the cosplay characters there, and we're going to do live art, all the artists there. We do a collaboration art piece there. And we have a lot more to offer there, too. Our goal is within this next year to make a new art district there. So we're starting in June.
Moving out of the
large
warehouse
murals.
district into the...
Yeah, that's how we need one there. So we're starting live murals in June. So any artists, we need help. We got a lot of paintings to do.
You heard it here, man. And we're definitely going to be making sure that we find you some artists.
Yes, thank you.
We will find you some artists.
And we also have a School of Art for the youth, high school internship program. And we will start this summer adult classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So check us out, 45 Art Center. Limited, I think big, and I want my artists and everybody to think big. We also have a custom t-shirt shop. Forgot about that. And we do airbrush, silk screen, and just
where can we find you online? Where do we go?
Okay, Facebook, 45 Art Center,
45
and
Art
on
Center.
Instagram, everything 45 Art Center.
45
to make it
Art Center. It's 45, or do we gotta spell it out?
No, the numbers 45 and then Art Center. You have to keep it together on Facebook, or they will not, find me there. So hope to see y'all there next weekend.
Cool.
Thank
And
you.
that's a little bit of our shameless plugs portion here. And I'm so happy to be in the presence of such awesome, raw Houston talent. You guys are amazing. I've been following your artwork for quite some time, and I've been a big fan of Jairo's for a very long time as well. So you guys stay tuned. We do have some really good fun stuff coming up for you. But today's topic is going to be discussing our Electoral College. Should we go ahead and get rid of that and go back to popular vote, or should we keep our Electoral College? Our comments are going to be listed below, and you're more than welcome to tune in, give us your 2 cents, let us know how you feel about our Electoral College, or if you think we should go ahead and go with the popular vote. But real quick, there are some viewers I know that don't really know what an Electoral College is. Can anybody go ahead and tell us what the Electoral College is?
Go ahead, Dee.
Who's got it?
Go ahead.
You're talking it up.
Well,
So,
Okay, well,
would you, if you don't mind, would you mind describing for our viewers just a brief summary of what our Electoral College is and what it consists of?
okay, well, this is kind of overview because I'm not,
Yeah,
all the big words.
We've been drinking too. You need to crack one.
But basically, it's a representation of votes per state regarding the population and the members of Congress who represent them. So the larger population you have, the more electoral votes you have. And was basically set up by our founding fathers to give fair representation because we do not want all the big states,
And fair is a very loose term in our society these days. When she says fair representation, meaning as per capita for everybody that's there's a certain amount of Electoral College members, and those members over time, this being 2018, it's very easy for lobbyists to sway a certain amount of Electoral College members. There's a lot of debate and stuff going on right now inside of the United States government on whether or not we should keep the Electoral College or go back to the popular vote. So real quick, let's go around. Let's see how we feel about it. Do you want to go with the Electoral College or should we go popular vote?
Popular vote. And on that note, the two that has the highest are New York and California. So there's a definitely East Coast versus West Coast population. And that leaves the middle states without a representation if you'd go with a popular vote. And then the smaller cities, the smaller states, as in Maine, would have less vote. Alaska, some of Rhode Island, some of the farm states would be left out. But on that note, you'd have 1 per 1. Would someone's vote be silent?
And that's a big reason why we have the Electoral College too.
Right.
So, because there's a lot of states, and I think it's less gone from the point, if I may, from representation to ignorant voting. We have a lot of people, that are going out and putting out votes that know nothing about these congressmen and women or these senators or these people running for president, know nothing, and they're going out and voting. So our Electoral College helps make sure we have a responsible person in order. But it is a very good idea to have a popular vote because that's the foundation of democracy, isn't it?
But are they responsible?
Here we go.
The Electoral College actually votes for.
Tell us, leave us a comment.
And so if they aren't responsible, did the Electoral College actually do their job? And that's where it goes back to.
Never ask me if a congressman has done his job.
And that's where it goes back to, could the Electoral College then decide, wait a minute, we screwed up? Did we actually put up people that we actually should have? Were both of them flawed candidates? And we should have never allowed these people at all to go up for a popular vote or even the Electoral College.
But there are certain stipulations and requirements to be president, and they are open to most of the United States citizens that are natural born and over, 35?
However, there is one point that they never raise. And me being a military wife.
We're going to dive into that. I just want to get everybody's opinion real quick on the topic. Popular vote is your stance? What about you? Electoral College or popular vote?
Electoral College.
Electoral College. Do you care to give us a little bit?
I mean, I'll repeat just what we said earlier. You know that
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
fine.
if
We
you're
gotta let the
gonna,
viewers know.
if we want to make a change in our government or the way that things work around us, we have to vote at a smaller scale, starting with judges and district attorneys and so on, state representatives, so on and so forth. And
Kind of seems like tied up with a bow, just Electoral College, right?
yeah,
I see.
that's
where
why I
you're
say
coming from.
keep it.
Keep it.
All right. Go for popular.
Gonna go for popular. So we got a popular, electoral popular. It's gonna be some stuff happening on this video, y'all. Y'all stay tuned. So yeah, go
I
ahead.
mean, the problem right now is, lobbying is rampant on both sides.
Yes.
Both sides of the fence in politics in Washington. So, you're not really, most of the time, you're not voting for someone that has, an actual care for the person they're representing. So they're caring more about their bank account. So, that being said, also, it is important to go vote for your local representative and your local senator and everything like that. But
I wish I could tell everybody who I'm voting for. I really do.
But like what happened in the last election, there was a big debate about the Electoral College. Yeah, he won, but he didn't win the popular vote. So that kind of detracts people from wanting to even go vote because they're gonna say, "Oh, my vote doesn't even matter."
That's
So
why
that's
I abstained. There's no
Yeah.
way I was gonna support either of those two.
So it's
candidates.
when you go vote and you see that vote won, but that person didn't win, you're like, "Wait, what?"
Right.
So it kind of
Is America working? That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to figure out.
So
and the whole point of the Whine Wine Show is to have that civil discourse,
Yeah.
to teach people how to disagree civilly. Anybody that's been around for the last election knows that.
Yeah.
We have lost that ability.
Yeah.
So here today, that's what we're doing. You agree with popular. So
Yeah.
you have popular, electoral popular. You're going to make my day if you say electoral.
I'm pro, of course.
Electoral.
pro
Tell us what you think.
Because I think that it protects the representation of each state. I think that it's set there. I
The
think
integrity of
I
the
trust the founding fathers because they've done a pretty good job so far. Everything that's, of course, there's some debatable, because in my opinion. But regarding the Electoral College, I think it's fair representation for everybody. I think kind of contradicting your view that it, I feel you kind of contradict yourself because, California and New York are
Larger
the most populous.
states.
Yeah.
So if they all come out to vote and the smaller states
Which
don't,
they won't
then
all come out.
well, but when you're next year, I bet
still
next
fighting
next
against big
election, I bet they will. Next election, I bet they will. So if that happens, then all the smaller states do not get. It will be, will
So
be
what you're saying
overridden
is-
by the big main country, or main states.
So if we were gonna, for instance, what you're saying is, if we were gonna pick a representative from this room, and there's like 10 maybe of us in here, that person that's representing us is going to be what we would call the Electoral College. Now there may be only 5 of us that would want to vote, but still that vote from that representative we have elected is going to decide the outcome of the electoral vote. And this is a big problem, so we can understand a little bit. I may just be speaking slow because I like this wine a lot. But what we've come to terms with in the United States and throughout history is that I feel like we don't care enough to have this conversation, which is why I'm really glad we're having it. It needs to be said. And if you have if you want to chime on in, we are going to be discussing and answering your comments directly and on camera. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, so we've got a diverse crowd here. Here's one of my positions on the Electoral College vote. The founding fathers put this forward a long time ago. Great idea for what was happening back then, but we've reached what some would call the age of ignorance. That people are reading Facebook instead of the local paper or stuff like that. So do you think, and since we already have an opinion, we already know everybody stands, I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to ask all of our panelists, do you think that because, how do I dictate this clearly? Here we go. Do you think that the Electoral College should stay put even if we have a mass populace that is voting because of social media sites and news networks like that are populated Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, and then CNN, Fox, all that? We have a huge misinformed part of the population. Do you think that the Electoral College should stay put even though this huge uninformed part of our population is voting and may not be voting the particularly right way.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think it's our own personal responsibility
It's
to
our
research
responsibility to research.
and to find out our candidates and what's
But
true and what's not.
What if we're not teaching these people how to research? You know, like we're not saying.
That comes back around to people not caring.
Individualism. I mean, if more people come out that think, you know, or following this or getting their ideas from social media or believing in stuff, well, I mean, that's democracy. Well, then maybe people who don't feel that way should come out more. I mean, that's the whole point of the democracy. It's your will. If you go and you vote, that's your right.
Yeah.
If you choose not to vote, then that's your choice.
Action
So
causes reaction.
if you want to vote, you can you should research. If you're researching on Facebook or whatever, I mean, that's you can't control what everybody's doing. You can't say, oh, you need to take a class on this. I mean, that's a part of
That's why we
democracy.
have
You're
the
going to
Electoral
get
College,
some
right?
dumb votes. You're going to get some educated votes. You can't control that.
Okay.
That's why you have to keep a base, and you have to keep
She's
it.
voted on both.
You know, that's why you have to keep the base. If you start doing this for change, and then you get all these other little stipulations and all, then you start going into all these. Oh, well, what about, okay, but Connecticut doesn't want that because they don't feel they're represented fairly because of this. You know, I mean, you get all these little things. So
And we know
no,
about
it's better.
taxation with
Yeah, it's better to keep a base, and that's what we go for. If you want, then you know what? You educate your voters. You're a Democrat. You don't believe in the or liberal, whatever. You don't believe in the Electoral College. College. Then you go out and you
Correct.
educate people, and you get them to see your point of view and maybe change or whatever. But if you don't do that, then you know what?
We're gonna
What are
go
you gonna
straight to
complain about?
to
Okay.
her with some
Okay.
feedback. So real quick, I'm gonna
So-
sum that up. What we're discussing right now, for those of you that are just tuning in. Oh, the Electoral
good
College.
today.
Mine is good. You can tell. The Electoral College. Should we get rid of it and go to popular vote, or should we keep it? That's what we're discussing. So right now, we're gonna hear from.
So what you're saying is that you want to educate all the voters.
No.
No, I'm saying it's a responsibility of the
Ability.
voters to educate.
Individual
To be
responsibility.
educated
themselves.
to do the individuals. So then why should the borders of a state make a difference?
Explain your.
Ooh. Okay.
Explain
Okay.
Stop right
It's gonna
there.
get interesting.
Because if there's a border of a state, there's no borders in states. It's a person that's making the vote, not a state. Because it's an individual person that's making that pull on that president or on that congressman or on that senator. It has nothing to do with, I live in that state, I live
This is
in
gonna be
Vermont,
fun.
So what you're
I
saying?
live in California, I live in Texas. I'm not voting for that state, I'm voting for that person.
Exactly. But
Exactly, then why would I be voting for that in that state block? I'm not. I'm
Like if you're
voting
traveling
as
to the
a
state.
person. I'm not voting as Texas. I'm voting as Dee
I'm gonna leave
Franklin.
the hiring
Okay.
to you.
Are you finished?
I'm like,
No,
yeah.
seriously, I'm not voting as Texas.
I believe
I'm
you.
gonna run to Jairo and help.
So
his-
I
Okay,
wouldn't
so,
want to
but-
be.
But
That's why I
what
wouldn't
state do you
vote.
live in? What state do you live in?
Right, but
What state
that's
do you live in?
why I wouldn't vote
Yeah,
as
what
a
state do you
person
live in?
in Texas.
So your vote is going to reflect your experiences in Texas and what you feel.
No, I'm a
right.
Navy wife.
But what I'm trying to
No,
say
no,
is
but
that
I'm a Navy wife. I've moved 18 times in 20 years.
but
I don't have
who
a
educated
state
you on your vote?
affiliation.
How did you get your education on the electoral vote? How did you find out about that?
By being a military wife and moving 18 times in 20 years.
Your own
That means
experiences.
I have no state affiliation.
Okay.
And most people don't. Most people don't say, I'm voting as a Georgian.
When you ask anybody in the military where you're from, it's very, very hard to give them a straight answer because you
We
move around so
don't.
much and you're displaced through society in so many different kinds of ways. And I see where you're coming from. I also see where both of you are coming from. But we're gonna move on to the rest of our panelists.
Okay.
It's all right. I see this is getting going. This is what we
Yeah.
want.
Got juicy.
The point of our
I
show
know.
is to teach America how to civilly disagree, and we are all friends here.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
we are gonna argue.
Oh,
This is
argue
gonna
about
happen.
people,
We're gonna
don't
have
worry.
great fun. But I'm gonna go for her real quick, and then ladies
Oh,
first. So
now you're going for me.
yeah, well, ladies
Just
first.
beat up on
She's
you.
like, I'm enjoying this glass of wine. Listen.
Look at me. I just wanted to see where you were coming from. You were kind of saying that
All right.
going with the
I only have
popular
red.
vote would kind of
Oh, white.
I only have red.
erase borderlines, boundaries, and would create the even voting of a country as
Yeah.
opposed
I
to
didn't
state
see any white.
representation. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Especially
Right there.
on, because the only time we use the Electoral College is for one thing,
It's good right there.
and that's for presidency.
Mm-hmm.
We don't use it for anything else. It's the only time
Mm.
we enact the Electoral College is for that one vote.
Not necessarily.
Well, we do it to get as many senators in. That's the only other
We're
time
filling up
is
the House
to
of
get.
Representatives in this
It's the only time is by how many votes we get in.
Right.
Okay.
And it's what she's saying, and I think let me know if I'm misinterpreting you.
Okay.
What she's saying is to getting to the Electoral College, it is the person's responsibility. Like, say for instance, I really hope I don't catch flack on media for saying this. Dan Crenshaw, we know, we've seen his eye patch signs all over town.
Okay.
He's running for Congress, right? Now it's our duty to inform ourselves on Mr. Crenshaw
Yes.
or Mr. Trump or Mrs. Clinton. It's our duty
Yes.
to inform ourselves on that. That way we can go
The
make.
Marine that's running, is that the correct man I'm
Yes.
talking about?
And he
Yes.
has my support. But I know that's why I didn't want to say it.
Oh, really?
But I think it's much like
Oh,
it's
support our
an
military
individual
heroes.
society coming
No.
together
That's
through
what
the
I
popular vote. The Electoral College is, yes,
Yes,
could be a
support it.
useful tool. Is it being used the right way? Probably not. But
But
did you finish your point?
wouldn't be able. I just have questions. I don't know.
Let's ask him, dude. Let's do it.
Go,
I know
Faye.
nothing. I'm a liberal to the core, okay? So I really don't even.
Oh, you're a liberal?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
See, we're sitting up against each other, and she's against me.
it
She's a
doesn't even
liberal.
matter.
Well,
It
you
doesn't
can have
even matter.
different points.
I just have
Yeah.
questions because I really want to know.
And if you have
And-
questions, don't feel afraid. You can ask them. Our team of fact checkers and our team behind the cameras are
So,
going to be answering.
Do
those.
you guys think there could be a difference made if, say, for instance, we have a choice of who our state representatives are, right?
Yes.
We could vote them in.
Supposedly.
So,
Supposedly. Okay. So
Yeah.
say for
I'm an
instance
anarchist.
we have that power
Leave it that
to
way.
elect our state representatives. Couldn't we change how the electoral vote goes as well? If we carefully choose our state representatives and we actually put effort forth into, because I honestly don't even know who our state representative
Let's say for instance you work at the animal shelter.
I'm listening.
I love animals.
Me too.
I work at the animal shelter and I see 4 Doberman
love animals?
pincers come into the animal
love
shelter.
animals?
All right, and I have to start euthanizing. I'm against it, maybe, but I was put in this animal shelter to do the right thing and to be humane. I don't want to pick which Doberman pinscher I got to euthanize, right? I want somebody to tell me which Doberman pinscher I got to euthanize, right? That's essentially what we're doing, because we're not just electing a president. We're also telling the other candidate that's running against him
That's
no.
kind of not wanting responsibility.
Exactly. Now, that being said, not wanting that responsibility, like somebody in the position of an
I see
electoral
where
college
you're coming
member,
from.
may be very easily swayed by outside influences via cash, favors, lobbyists, whatever.
Yeah.
Money.
This is the problem we're running across, and this is why it is a topic today, because this is a big problem in the United States. So that's why I'm saying,
Yeah,
like,
no,
do you
I
think
agree with that one.
do you think that by going, because you said electoral college is what you wanted, right?
Mhm.
So by going with the electoral college, can you for sure say that your vote is going to reach the electoral college?
Oh no, definitely not. Even God could say that, but
Right.
you know what I mean. You just kind of
So
make the effort. You
that's
put
why
your
we have
effort
some-
forth and
yeah.
create the wave. You're liberal. You
Right.
create the wave.
Oh, I'm not a liberal.
You create the. Oh no.
Anarchist.
Oh.
I hate-
Yeah.
I
What's
hate
that lower
any-
liberal?
I'm lower.
Liberal anarchist.
I was not a liberal.
No
I
government.
I believe that you should do whatever the heck you want without anybody
Right.
telling you what you should do.
Yeah,
I do.
believe that.
I am a God-fearing man. I will say that.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me conservative, but you know, you live your life to your own set of rules. I think, and that's the way I do it. But
That's what I consider.
Jairo hasn't said a single word on this topic.
He's just listening about
He's
the next
afraid of
song.
us.
He's thinking about the next.
You
song.
guys are intimidating.
So-
Okay?
It's like women are talking, let me shut up.
He's a Texan boy.
So, I see what you were talking about. How, as a Texan, you're not voting for. I mean, as a person voting, you're not voting for Texas. You're voting for like
the U.S.
the U.S.
Yeah.
and America as a whole.
Yeah.
And yeah, I understand that. You know, it's like
Making everybody-
when you. So when you
Wishful
vote,
thinking.
She said it.
when you vote, when you vote for your representative, you're thinking about at state level, senator,
Right.
representative. You're voting at state level. When you're voting for a president, you're voting at a federal level.
Yeah.
That's for the overall good of the country. So, you living here, that's who you vote for. That's like you grow up here. You're like what's going on. You know the
Yeah.
problems, so you know what to vote for at state level. And then you go with whatever the two candidates are debating about. That's how But the electoral vote, it's like we're talking about. It's like you vote for oh god, I had it in my head.
Whine. It's a funny thing.
Yeah, I've only had like one.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess one thing that I would like to see in a perfect world, and this is where the Electoral College would actually do its job.
Right.
But this is Earth.
This is Earth and this is America, and it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
I am a military wife, and that says a million things out there.
Yes, it does.
No presidential candidate has to go through the security clearance that a VP, any of his
Not if
cabinet
they got that
has
bankroll.
to do. No, period. They don't. As soon as they are elected, they are given the top secret clearance, period. It doesn't matter what's in their background, who they are, what slimy things they have done, anything. No way, no how would Hillary or Trump have gotten that clearance.
No kidding.
Either one.
No kidding.
Really? Don't even get me
Either
started.
one, an electoral college,
Oh, we're
and
talking
that's the
afterwards.
whole point. The Electoral College, if they were doing their job, would have looked at both candidates and said,
You both
neither
suck. Let's
one,
get in
you
some
both
new guys.
suck. they would have said that exactly. They would have looked at him and
We can say
said,
suck, right?
yeah, they would both have
You
said,
just did.
yeah, they would have looked at them and said, you two cannot pass the security clearance needed for a president of the United States. Goodbye.
I have a question. So if we did that, how many presidents would we have?
Actually,
I think maybe.
no, actually, quite a
I
number.
don't see. George Washington wouldn't have been a
Reagan would've-
president
no,
because he
Reagan
had
would've-
a slave and he
No,
was
well,
trying to pot in the
that-
backyard.
Oh, well, no, actually, for that time period, he would have passed.
Okay, well that's
so
what I'm
Reagan
saying.
would have passed. Bush would have passed.
Carter would have passed.
Carter would have
At
passed.
this time of period, Trump passed because we're all social media.
oh,
we're all
dear
about.
God,
Because
we're
he got
all
that
about-
bankroll.
no. No, because he
We're
had
all about-
all these bankruptcies.
Okay, let's
he
go
had
back
all
to the
that,
electoral
and
real
that
quick.
would have
You know,
gone
y'all's debate
against
about
him.
your view about the electoral college being bought and it's not fair and that you don't know if they're going to get fair representation or whatever. Well, I feel like
No, I
that.
just want
hold
them
on,
to
let
do
me,
their role.
Okay, let me talk now. So I feel like that contradicts what happened this election because if the
Oh, there's
popular
white wine.
yeah, I told you.
I'm sorry. I'm just not realizing that there
That's what I'm
is
telling
indeed
you.
white wine. How about
Pass it to me.
How about you? Yeah, you want to pass that
Here.
to our crew member there? Thank you very
There
much.
you go.
We're gonna get it
Yeah.
all set up. for
Okay,
you.
so
I didn't
if
realize
the
there was white wine.
electoral college can be bought and all that stuff, then if that's so true, your argument about not trusting them, then Trump would not be president. Because the fact that he is president
Yeah.
is the fact that the electoral college worked. Because they voted on the states' votes. They didn't vote because if electoral could have been purchased, then they would have been purchased because everybody was trying everybody was trying to buy
Yes.
those electoral votes.
Correct.
So your argument about that is contradictory because this election
It
actually proves that the electoral vote works.
Oh,
Because
it
if
does
not,
work.
then Hillary Clinton would have been president. Because it would have, if electoral
Popular
votes, they
vote
would,
would've-
if they're so conniving and don't do what the state says or represents, then Trump would not be president because they
Oh.
would have been bought. So many people are trying to buy those votes and saying if you vote, all that, that crazy
No.
stuff that was going on.
No, they
So-
worked.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
so your argument about electoral college being bought and all that
Oh
stuff.
no, I didn't say
No, that's
that.
my argument.
Oh,
That's
your
his argument.
Well,
Not mine.
It's contradictory because actually
No,
this
I
election
agree.
proved
It worked.
that it worked.
It does work.
But at the same time, I do not want California and New York
You're good. You're not gonna be on.
making our federal decisions because I do not
Well,
agree with them
you have a
and
good
the
point
popular
here.
with the popular
That is a good
vote.
point.
You have a great point here, and we've heard some excellent points. For those of you guys that are tuning in, we are drinking We are drinking wine on the Wine No Wine Show. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and I hope you give us a share and let America know that we can civilly disagree and still have a good time.
Yes.
But the point you're making is very true, very valid, and it's a real concern for a lot of Americans. So if you have an opinion you would like to express and have us discuss, we are going to be hitting the hot comments here in just a second. Comment. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to say, we're going to talk about some music and art real quick. 'Cause this is the artist edition. We've had some great points made. We do need to fill up some wine glasses. We're going to get our crew on that.
Before we go to the art.
Yeah, and we're going to be reviewing all of their art and talking about it and putting it up on the screen. But real quick, we want to send out a message from our sponsors. And one of our sponsors is indeed Dee who is going to be sponsoring for the next, I think, the whole entire 2018. You guys stay tuned. We're going to be watching that real quick and getting right back to the hot topic, followed after our music and art section.
Right now.
Right now.
Hey everybody, Joe Orsak, host of the Wine No Wine Show. And I'm here with my special new guest, Dean DeBassi, brand new sponsor of the Wine No Wine Show. Can't wait till he gets to tell you all about himself.
Hello everyone, my name is Dean DeBassi and I'm with First Choice Loan Services. We close all of our loans on time. We have great rates and low fees, and we have push button get mortgage. All right, just kidding. In all seriousness, folks, we are a boutique mortgage lender, and we lend in 49 states. We choose not to play in the commoditized lending world, such as push button get mortgage. There is no such thing.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Compton with JLA Realty, Houston's fastest growing real estate team, and I'm very pleased to announce that I'll be opening a new office in Spring, Texas. One of the things that I depend upon with my business is being able to refer my clients to a lender that I can trust, because that can be the difference between them being able to buy the home of their dreams or not being able to buy a home at all. So, I've always referred my clients to Dean. He always takes care of them. If you're thinking about getting a home loan, do not go with one of the big guys where you're just going to be a number. Give Dean and his team a chance.
I am a certified mortgage planning specialist. Less than 1% of all your originators have that designation. So, if you are seeking a mortgage and would like to experience a true boutique mortgage experience, please call the number below or go to DeBassiLoans.com. Let us show you why First Choice Loan Services is leading the mortgage lending industry.
We are back. We are filling them up, and we are keeping it going. I hope that you are too, because this is for sure one of the best shows we have ever had. Is it time to dump the Electoral College and go with the popular vote? Comment. Let us know. Comments are ready right now. We have some people that are tuning in. Aline K says, popular vote, ... fair is fair. And let's keep politics as uninvolved as possible. The votes get skewed. That's one of a huge concern here.
Yeah.
That's at least what she's saying. So we're going to be reading some of our votes real quick. Farrah Michelle says, every single vote should be counted, as in the Gore versus Bush election.
That one
Florida came down to each personal vote, and election was called over a couple hundred people. Every single person counts.
Hanging
And we're
chads.
going to be looking at that as well.
Hanging chads.
Right.
Okay,
we
well
have
enough
a
to know that.
wonderful screen we're reading these comments from, so please comment, let us know. Caitlin says, I don't know about ditching the whole Electoral College, but gerrymandering,
Yeah.
thank you, I don't know that word. Gerrymandering should be illegal. Can somebody tell me what gerrymandering is?
It's basically whenever someone's in power, they basically set up the district the way they want it.
Yeah, okay,
So-
that makes
And
sense.
There's
there's
a lot of that going on.
redistricting right now in
Yes.
Houston,
Like the
from what I'm
cabinet.
understanding.
Like the
But,
presidential cabinet as well.
okay, well, I'm going to go into all that.
No, because
Okay.
I'm new to Houston, and that's something else. Every time you
We're
move
glad to have you.
as a military wife, you don't know the politics of an area.
Nope.
And, but, we were talking before here, being a military wife, I'm very observant about immigration and all that, because I do have a lot of friends that married into American families that now have problems with immigration and things. So that has not been a
Don't
And
tell
I
people.
know.
Like, don't tell people.
I was just about to say.
Don't tell
great.
people I'm an immigrant
Don't
overseas.
tell me that.
I mean, you're the brownest one here.
That has not been an unheard
mine
of
is brown.
issue.
The whole time, or
That
ever since.
that's nothing new to me.
Right.
So when I came to Houston, I knew that was going to be something I would be hearing a lot of. So,
Whose
but
art do we have loaded up first?
but other
Right now.
things, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know about the gerrymandering here. I knew it gerrymandering where I came from in Savannah, Georgia, when I was growing up.
Right.
But coming into Houston, there's a whole different new set of issues.
They like to
when you
pretend like
go.
they don't do it.
But they do.
I think
they
it's like we're who's in Congress or whatever, the Texas
Money.
legislator, or are we're kind of, I feel like who's there where they want to go, where if they want, say,
By the
Texas
way,
to
we
stay.
saw that comment. Thank you so much for commenting. That was wonderful. Keep it going.
I didn't see it.
Sorry.
But anyway, so it's like, say we start getting, I'm going to go opposite just to keep this,
Yeah.
fair. Say we start getting a lot of Republican, Texas State
Is very Republican.
Well, then they're going to want to redistrict to get their votes more. They're going to redistrict the areas to accommodate to get the most votes they
Worst
can.
part is they don't have to tell you.
So, exactly. So, but the same thing with the other side. So right now, what is Texas becoming more? So you have to think, what is the future becoming? So where are they trying to redistrict and remold
They basically
Texas
just
and
look at
Houston?
they look at income level basically.
Right.
That's
Which
the way they
is-
go at it.
Yeah.
And
So-
like I thought
what?
when I moved down
Sorry,
to
they
Houston
know
that
it's
it
like-
would be
Conservative,
more
Democrat,
liberal in Houston and there would be more Democrats in Houston.
But
And
you know,
now that I'm
the thing
seeing
is-
it's more Republican
I
representatives.
tend to lean
all through
Republican
England.
through Houston, but if I was to lean on a national level, I wouldn't. I don't vote on a national level. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not contributing to our president. I don't support anybody that has power of another man. Like I said, I'm an anarchist.
And that's your
But-
choice.
I'm not
Yeah.
an anarchist, but I second that.
Yeah.
I don't participate.
I
don't
second
like
that,
people
but
who
I'm
have
not
power
an
over people.
anarchist either.
But today,
that.
in our society, what has become such a huge issue is that now more than ever, especially starting in the Obama administration, now more than ever, the president has a direct effect on every American's life, now more than ever. And this issue of should we dump the Electoral College is huge because this is going to change our Constitution. This is going to change everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be the undoing, or it could be the thing that gets us through the next 100+ years. And with that being said, that's something we can all agree on, right? We can all
Right.
meet there, and we can disagree on whatever we want, but we can meet somewhere. And if you're going to vote locally, my advice is, one, don't just research the person you like first. Everybody that goes out voting starts researching their people, and they're like,
Specific
oh, this
candidate.
person is Republican, and this person is believes in pro-life, and Texas has always been three things: pro-life, pro-God, and pro-gun. Right? That's
I
Texas.
figured that out right away.
And I support that. I'm the same way. But the only thing I would say is you have to research the competition for the person that you're gonna be voting for,
Definitely.
and not just because you want to find things wrong with the competition. It's because you care enough to know that you might be wrong.
I feel like everyone should
Educate
find the
yourself.
Educate
representative
yourself. You had a
and
very good point when you
educate
said
themselves on the representatives that are going to legalize marijuana.
that.
Not to be
She
funny,
said it first. I didn't say a word.
but I'm serious.
Yes, I do
Everyone
agree.
should
I think
thoroughly
that we could
educate
get a
themselves.
lot of jobs through it, and we
Heck
can.
yeah.
Hemp energy is a phenomenal thing. There are people right now. I saw a Tesla driving the other day, and the license plate said LOL gas. It's
Uh-huh.
great. I laughed for like 30 minutes about that. I was like, man, if I had a Tesla, I would have.
LOL.
Yeah.
Well, also,
Yeah.
just if legalizing may be a little for the medical reason, yet the prescription pill country, you're talking about
Oh,
the
man, I'm so worried
pharmaceuticals that
about this.
have the hold on our Congress and our representatives. Okay, let's
Pharmaceutical
eliminate
companies,
those pharmaceuticals and let's see how
I
much
agree.
more we have represented.
Well,
of
when it comes to the
ourselves.
Electoral College,
So yeah.
yeah, because trust me, we will talk about this. But the Electoral College altogether, we decide, let's say states like Colorado, California, New Hampshire,
Oh,
Vermont,
Lord,
Washington,
please.
these states that are pro one way, let's say
Yes.
other states are pro-life, other states are pro-gun, they're hard about it, and some states like Colorado are pro-marijuana legalization. These states, these citizens that are there, that are gathered in the state, that have set down roots, that have laid their roots down, they're going to start looking and they're going to start voting. And then who are they going to vote for? Well, of course, the person that's going to get that weed legalized, the person that's going to make sure no abortions are allowed here. There's even states that have threatened to euthanize their dogs if marijuana gets legalized. Like it's a big thing, and it happens with the police, it happens with the military, it happens with your electoral college, it happens with everybody making sure society can work. So today, for those of you guys that are tuning in, I have to keep re-saying this. We are talking about the Electoral College and if we should dump it and go back to the popular vote. Here's my next point. If we decide, let's play for instance, we decide to go to popular vote. Let's just say. I know that's not the truth for today, but if we do go to popular vote, what's going to happen on a if we go to popular vote, do you think that statewide legislation is going to be out the window? Or do you think that we will still be able to, as a populace, vote for our state representatives without being represented by a electoral college? Much like England does with its, I don't talk about England.
Would state
y'all want to live in England?
Would
Move
state
to England.
representatives
Would we still?
necessary
Yeah, would
I like that.
state representatives? Thank you. Would state representatives be necessary if we have a popular vote?
Yeah.
Okay, history-wise.
Why? Wouldn't that be the same as the electoral college?
Yeah.
No,
It's just
'cause
at a state level. I mean, why do you need them then?
Because
Why
if you
can't
go on
the
the popular
state
vote,
just
then
vote?
boundaries are erased, right?
no, with the
This is
popular
my
vote,
question.
You're voting
This is
for
where I'm so
someone that's going to
confused.
lead the federal
I'm
government,
asking
not
as a
your state
question,
government.
too.
Yeah.
But
I
why
think
is
That's
it?
actually
That's y'all contradicting yourselves.
no. I think where he's
A
going.
little bit.
Yeah, because
we
why are
are.
you going to have? You want to eliminate? It's so bad on the federal level. Why not? We can
If you're gonna
vote
eliminate it, just
federal level, but give state. See, this is what the problem is here. You're talking about
Yeah.
all these individual the rights for the state. Well, the state should have rights to do. Maybe the federal government can leave it to the states to
Roads in
legalize
Colorado
marijuana.
are different than roads
Right?
in
Is that right?
Kansas.
The states can legalize marijuana, right?
No,
So
but
they
he's
choose
talking
the
about
states.
like what Jeff Sessions
Representation.
is doing right now.
where he wants.
Is
yeah.
that Jeff Sessions is tapping on the states'
I'm glad that
rights?
you remember that name?
for
I was trying so
white.
I was gonna say,
He's doing it for several reasons. He's doing it for sanctuary. He's doing it against marijuana. He's doing it against.
I don't like him.
I don't like him either.
hard. I think that makes three of us.
well, Trump doesn't
he's
like him
doing
either,
it.
so he's
no,
about
Trump
to be
doesn't-
fired.
Yeah, well,
So don't
no,
worry about that.
Trump
don't
got
we-
enough money to make it happen.
Don't.
He's gonna. No.
I can only pray.
you don't
He doesn't
like
like
him,
him for a
fine.
lot of reasons, but he's trying to enact federal law on state law, which is separation between powers.
Like persecution for marijuana possession.
Yeah, which I have RA, lupus, and epilepsy. Okay,
I didn't know you had lupus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
that's okay. So yes, and you'll see me in a wheelchair if I have to walk long distances.
we don't give her
So-
any pity parties.
No, they don't.
We're
And
fighting out here.
yeah. So this is my this is my comfort for tonight.
I hope it is yours too, guys.
So Jeff Sessions is not my friend. But
He's fighting for the legislation to change.
he's
at state
fighting for the
level.
opioids and the pharmaceuticals. But if
Oh, I wonder who's paying for that.
some big names. So, but if we take away the Electoral
this
College
show.
in that point, we would then have to leave it up to the populace, and it would be state right versus federal. And again, you don't
F with federal.
you
Okay,
don't
now
She's
what
trying to say in a nice way.
Like for example, though,
I guess
when-
what the reason why I would want it one vote is just on the presidential level. I wouldn't want it to take it away for any other thing.
There's a
then
point
that's
there.
selecting to your
It's-
what you want.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a
that's not-
selective
selective,
thing.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's
so that
not
doesn't
just
work. We
for-
gotta keep it level
yeah.
and
Yeah,
just
but
do it.
Yeah.
I'm right
you
there
know.
with you though.
You
If
know,
it was just
I don't like the
presidential,
If it's
popular
just
vote.
if it's just presidential, and that's the only way I would want the Electoral College to go away.
But why? Because okay, I'm confused now.
Let us know, girl.
Why would it only be a popular vote for the president if the state senate kind of checks the
and balances.
president, right? It creates that
But
checks
they
and balances.
really
This is
aren't.
why we're discussing the topic.
And that's
Because
what
of
I'm saying.
that
I think
exact
we
thing.
need to
Yeah.
trust
We're just
in
getting,
our
getting
system.
on the president.
And I know it does fail sometimes because,
And
we
maybe
fail,
it's this time.
but
it
we
is-
have, you know, but it will correct itself. It will correct itself. I know it will. Yes,
Girl,
it will.
no, it will not.
It's
No,
No,
it will
in
not.
time. In time. No, things
You
will
know what's
correct
gonna
it. Yes,
happen?
it will.
Somebody else crazier than us is gonna come along and be like, "Hey, this is what we should do," and then we're gonna be like, "Yeah."
Or
like we
you
always
don't
have.
think that we learn from history.
I think that I hope and I wish that we would learn
Have
from
you
history.
learned from history that we don't really learn
But-
quickly enough from history?
We have so many
Well,
comments.
learned
I
that
do
history
have to
thinks
say
itself.
that I am
So-
very, very, very happy to be here today and be your host from Texas Music and Art, Harley. And I am here with my panelists and my performer and my artists that are here. Not mine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be sensitive. The wine's already going, so we are going to talk about something really important when you start drinking wine. Music and art. And I'm going to start right here.
Oh.
This young lady right here.
Okay, me.
Tell us a little bit about your piece that you decided to submit today. I
Okay.
understand that it was influenced by
Selena? Okay, well, at 45 Arts Center, every month we have an exhibit every third Sunday, and it's a themed exhibit. So last month was Selena's birthday month, so all month we celebrate it, and in our area, well, everywhere we celebrate her. So we had an exhibit, and an artist did a live performance, and it was awesome. We had a great
Did you
time.
get that Selena tribute band out there?
No, we didn't get the Selena tribute band, but yeah, I did from
Siempre Selena?
Oh, are you talking about from Axelrod?
Yeah.
Oh, those
Okay,
guys.
yeah. I talked to her, but it was too late.
Yeah,
But,
they got
um,
money.
Yeah, she's really nice. But yeah. So that was my piece I did for the exhibit. I airbrushed.
I'm gonna ask my crew real quick.
Okay.
Can we get a picture of her piece that she did up there? Is that up there? Is that good?
It is up there.
Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
check out that piece. And where can we find more of your art like this piece?
Okay, at 45 Arts Center,
45.
and we are at 3803 Barnett, 77017, and that's just 45 South Park Place exit. Make a quick
Boom.
U-turn, and boom, we're there to the right. In and out,
Awesome.
real quick.
Now, about that piece that went up on the screen there.
Okay.
Was there a reason why you decided to approach it with the Muertos field?
Well, okay, because the Dia de los Muertos, a lot of the women art for Dia de los Muertos is very beautiful and intriguing and just interesting. And Selena.
Now we got a picture of the piece we can look at. We're all
Yeah.
staring at it.
So
here.
Selena, was just very beautiful, and of course, we never got to see the full development of her beauty and her talent and everything.
So,
I mean, she was, if it wasn't for her, Jennifer Lopez wouldn't be here.
Beyonce would barely be
Beyonce.
there.
I mean, she just said,
Well, Beyonce
the
would
big
be there.
booty
That
and the
girl got it.
outfits. Come on, she did it
Okay.
first. Yeah.
Beyonce got it, so she probably still be there. But
And then,
J-Lo,
I mean, seriously, like the little outfits, the
Yeah. Little
purple
tassels,
outfit,
the
big old
little-
booty, all that. That's Selena. She started all that, So she kind of set a platform for the women, So I wanted to honor her and, make her mysterious but yet still beautiful. So she kind of could hide behind the Dia de los Muertos mask and face that we have, but she can still feel like a woman and beautiful. And the medium I used was airbrush and acrylic. Well, airbrush was the
It
tool.
seemed too perfect.
No. If I had much more time, I could have done a way better job. But it's for the
Story of my
exhibits.
life.
I know, right?
I'll
right?
be dead up in heaven. I'd be like, if I had more time.
If I did have 5 more hours up. No, but I love doing that piece. It was great. I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose her face. That's important part. But
That's hard to do when you're
Yeah.
going with that Dia de los
so I
Muertos
painted her
field.
portrait first, then I applied the makeup on top
I
of
look
it.
nothing like myself at Halloween. I even shave, believe it or not, guys. I do shave. I actually do that, so that happens. But Dee,
Yes.
we're gonna go ahead and put up your piece here. The one with the Texas map. You said it was Born in Blood, or what was it? What was the name?
Blood on the Desert.
Blood on the Desert. One of her Texas pieces. I think it's fantastic, and I love it. Such very high pigment colors that we see here. Was there a reason why you decided to run with such high pigment colors?
Because it's a map of Texas,
Mhm.
and that's my map series. I'm also
But
working
you're doing a
on
series
one.
of the map
I'm
paintings.
doing a series of map paintings.
on.
There's one I'm working on right now, which is Frida, which is a map of old Mexico. and I get them
Like before the
in-
annex?
Yeah, before the
I love
annex.
that. I love those old maps.
I get them from collectors off of eBay, and
you paint on top of them?
then
You
I
don't just
paint
keep
on
them?
top of them. Yeah.
That
So
adds to
I
the
get
cost
them.
there a little
Yeah.
bit,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just
Just
a little
bit.
yeah.
I get books from about the 1800s, and I use them as the backgrounds. And I'm the one of Frida I'll have done for a show that actually Lake Houston Farmers Market.
The Lake Houston
I saw
Farmers
that one,
Market.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
ran
gonna
by
be
Chris,
at-
the art director for Texas
Yeah,
Music and Art.
Chris,
I do
right,
the music
yeah.
for Texas
Chris
Music and
Minamyer.
Art. I book music and I work
Yes.
with musicians, and I know you guys hate me and love me at the same time. Thank you. But Chris Minamyer, I encourage all of you aspiring artists to go out there and reach out to Chris
Heck
Minamyer.
yeah.
He will
He's the
make
one
it happen for
actually
you.
running the
He's a
event
mover.
on July 1st
He
at
is.
45 Art
That's
Center.
why we work together. That's why we're
And
partners.
I will be at that one.
Good. The whole ball
So
game.
It's
I'm
gonna be
looking
fun.
forward to that
I'll
one.
be there too.
He's like, no.
Hyro's expensive, man.
So
this
there
next
it is.
this piece that you're seeing right now is of course the Texas piece that is up there. That's the one we're talking about.
And those
she
are
has a
just
series of them.
cactus. And then the new one will be a Frida. And then the next one is another map, but that one's not as saturated, and that one's just Santa Fe.
Oh
Santa
yeah,
Fe
the
Desert.
Santa Fe Desert one, the
Yeah.
other one that you
With the
brought in.
cactus.
That's a
With
good
the
one, man.
Seguras? Is that the
Seguras.
Guajaro.
But well,
Thank
that,
you.
That one I realized isn't as high pigment. as
it
the
has
Texas
some
one.
glitter in it.
It did have glitter, yeah.
So it does have some background, and that one I learned some different pouring techniques, some palette techniques from my girlfriend here.
Oh, from me.
Oh,
I
y'all
didn't even
collab?
know. I didn't know.
You do pouring?
Oh, I guess
She
she's
does pouring,
Oh, okay.
and
I didn't
I
even know I do
was.
pouring.
pouring.
I don't even know you do
pouring.
pouring.
No, I didn't even know
No,
I
you
did
didn't know
pouring.
when you
don't.
did
Remember
pouring?
how I did? Remember how I actually called you that night that I was working on this, and I was like, "Girl, I don't like how this one part's coming out," and you told me to go
In case
back
you're wondering,
in.
we can see the art piece
And
behind
you
the
said
camera, so
I
we're
consider
looking
it
at the art
pouring.
right now.
Yeah, and you said no, you need to go back in and or add more mountains.
It's because
Yeah.
I drip sauce.
She
I don't
does drip.
pour.
Okay.
So I was doing
Okay.
some pouring on that one, and she said, "Go back in. You need some more mountains." So that was the one you told me to do.
Gotcha.
Put
That's
some
why it
more
looks so
palette in
different.
mountains.
Yeah.
So that was. She
I love
gives
that.
me some
Nice.
extra help
So,
sometimes.
Question real quick
Mhm.
about your art. We know where you're showing. We know that you have a series out, getting ready to do
Yeah.
a map series. Was there something specifically that inspired this line of paintings?
This line was because I had just moved to Texas, and I was trying to feel.
Texas culture is huge.
Yeah, I was trying to feel home. When you move as much as I do,
It's scary.
it's very. You don't feel like you're home.
You don't feel like you belong anywhere.
I love
And
that.
I've moved 18 times in 20 years,
Okay.
and you can't get a career going as an artist. It doesn't happen.
The heck you
Mhm.
can.
And I have moved so many times. I've lived in Japan and Guam and California and Chicago and Georgia and Virginia.
Man, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, and I finally landed in place, and I said, okay, I want to find my niche. I want to find what feels like home to me. And I do goth art, I do glitz, I do glam, I do pinups, and I just said, you know what? I love the maps. That makes me feel home. I collect them.
Awesome.
And I started off with the maps, and I said, okay, I'm going to find a way to put my story in here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing that art
Thank
with
you.
us and for
Appreciate
letting us be able to put it out there. And 45 Art Center, along with the Houston Art Market that we got going on with Chris, is awesome. Did you get a chance to send
Yes.
us?
I did. I sent y'all some work.
I'm going to be at her
We
45
have a
market.
picture of some of her work, right, team? There's a few of them on the last game. We're going to put that up. What piece are we demonstrating?
I'm not sure because I sent quite a few.
You
We
tell
sent
me.
quite a few. Let's go ahead and
You
take a
tell
picture.
me.
We're going to put up some of her art. I
most
have
colorful
some
one.
questions about your
Most
art.
colorful one?
Yeah,
The
and tell
most
me which one you
colorful.
chose.
Oh, I chose all of them. So.
We have by the way, real quick, I want to take this time to thank all of the hard workers that are behind this show and making it happen. Everybody that's here with the photo, the video, the audio recording, which you're going to hear in just a little bit, is going to be phenomenal. Everybody that's here is working so hard to reach the common goal about teaching America how to disagree civilly. I'm happy to be your host. I love drinking. I'm sure you do too. Don't forget to fill up your drink. So what piece have we decided to show today, team?
We'll not debate about that.
By the way, Alex and Ashley are one of the biggest helps we could ever have for what we're doing here. So thank you so much.
Thank
Alex.
y'all.
I'm 20 feet tall.
Okay, I'm 20 feet tall.
Okay.
Lord. That's a piece I actually painted for a Hue Mural Festival in
Oh
2016.
wow!
Yeah.
Show me
Yeah.
that one.
Wow, that is
This
something.
one of my
I love that
faves.
one. And now she's gonna come do murals
Okay.
at 45 Arts
I
Center.
gotta come do murals. Okay, so I
That
did that
is
for Hue,
awesome.
and it's like really symbolic to me because the drippage is
I like that.
meaningful in the sense that I take each individual color as an individual person or an
Okay.
individual wave
Oh,
of
that's a
people,
way
right?
to look at it.
And so as the color drips on each other, it kind of pulls on each color, and they
They
drip
need each other to be
amongst-
beautiful.
They need each other to be beautiful, but not only that, they add to each other. They give to each other the same way that I impact your life right now, or later on, or the day after.
Need it.
I leave an imprint on your life, and that's the same way that the colors leave an imprint on each other in my drip paintings.
Wow.
Now,
I was not ready for that.
like
I was not
You
ready.
associate
That is
each
so
color
beautiful.
for a different wave of people, like a different set of characteristics, a different ethnicity, a different whatever, you know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong-
A different wave.
I always say, because a lot of people get offended and upset when we come to associating people with color. I associate people with color all the time, and
Oh,
I
but
don't
if
mean
you
skin
notice-
color.
yeah.
I mean like some people are red to me.
Fuck
Some people
yeah.
are green. Some people are blue.
I mean, heck yeah.
get it. The first F word of the day. Hand me that painting with the F bomb on it. You gotta hold it now because you.
Oh, my bad.
That is awesome. We love your art. Where can we?
F-bomb,
where-
though.
this is actually painted by Chris.
This is Chris's work. I
Yeah,
love
one
Chris.
day,
yeah.
one day,
Chris
me
is
and
my
Chris,
man.
we decided we're gonna paint some bombs. I painted one that says truth on it, and he painted one that says F
F.
because he loves the F bomb.
I
Yes, he
dropped it
does.
for you,
So he
Chris.
dropped it for you. Here, I'll take this out of your way. So where can we find
You
your
can
art
find
online?
me. I'm most active on Instagram. So on Instagram, find me at __period SY period __. It's really Psy and then 2 underscores a period and then a reflection. If you can get that,
So it's an art piece.
it is within itself.
Good, good.
Yeah, and then I didn't get to
Well,
tell y'all about my other.
That
piece.
one is mine.
Go ahead.
That's what the wine does to y'all. Okay. The
That
other
is-
piece. The other piece is actually about women. It's actually an empowerment piece about women and kind of helping us understand that we're all flowers in the same garden and we kind of don't have to be envious or jealous or compete against one
Exactly.
another because we're all
That's what I
growing
feel.
in the same
You
garden.
can be
Is that
yourself.
the one
Exactly.
The
with
flower ladies.
with
I
the
haven't,
oh,
I
okay.
didn't see that one. I haven't seen it.
So guys, we've talked about art. We've talked
the
about
leaves.
dumping that Electoral College or keeping it. We want to know your opinions, and we want you to drink with us every Thursday when we go live at 7 p.m. The real edition of the the real edition of the Wine to Wine show. This is the artist edition. The real edition is on Fridays and it goes live at 5.
The fake edition.
Jairo, you have been so quiet.
Yeah,
You have reserved your opinion.
you know I'm a quiet guy.
I know you're a very quiet guy.
Unless
but
I'm
you are
drunk.
on
He's
a
gonna get
talk
loud
show.
with the
Now we
guitar.
That's all
though.
my
Now
super.
we
Game
get
over.
We
I
want
want to
to
give him his space.
we want to take this time to go ahead and ask you. Can you tell us the name of the song you're about to play?
So
It
this
is an
song-
original.
Only got his
Yeah.
way here.
So this song's called Darling Ann, and I have a lot of folk influence, which is ironic because I'm from Mexico, so it's kind of, I have a lot of American folk and even the
You're
European
the epitome
folk.
of Texan American.
Yeah, and so I wrote this song. I met this person, and just inspired me to write this. The second night we hung out, and she really likes folk music, so we bonded over our love of folk music. So you want me to
Well,
play?
yeah.
Alright.
Just this camera right here. What camera are we on? Center.
Boom.
Boom. This guy. Just go ahead. Y'all stay tuned. This is Jairo Guillen. He is Guillen. I always do that. Sorry, I played this Morrowind when I was a kid. We are getting ready to have some amazing local music come and grace our studio today. If you guys have any friends that make music, if you have any friends that make art, poetry, comedy, spoken word, dance, rap, act, hip hop, anything, send them over to owner@texasmusicandart.com, or they can email me personally, Harley Ray Meyer, Ray like Ray of Sunshine, Meyer like Oscar Mayer. You can email me, harleyraymeyer@gmail.com, and I will look at your submission. But for right now, this is Jairo. He is playing his original music. Take it away.
try to find your heart one day, so it's song down. My darling, I want you mine. I'm so glad you're so hard to find. I think I love the stars when your smiling time it is giving away. I think I love the stars when your smiling time it is giving away.
That was awesome. What's that song?
Darling.
Darling. Where, can we find that anywhere online, or are you waiting to release
We're still recording. It's going to
Still
be
recording?
on the EP, so it's going to be very folksy.
Don't worry.
Yeah, right
that? You got a
on.
team of people behind you that are willing to make it happen, and
Yeah.
that's what we do for our musicians here and our artists here. We are so grateful to be hosting and being a part of this whole entire endeavor, which is to teach America to disagree civilly. I think we've done that. We've reached a really good point. We've talked about many good points. We've seen some amazing art. We've tasted some amazing wine, and we've heard some amazing music. That's what our show is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, tune in every single Thursday, 7 p.m. is when the artist edition of the Whine No Wine Show goes live. My name's Harley. I'm very happy to be your host from Texas Music and Art. You heard it here. You saw it here first. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next week, we are done. Thank you guys so much. It's gonna